Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of Horror Hands, and for this video we're going to be talking about one of the most popular subjects on this channel, video nasties. And out of the official 72 video nasties, the movies that were removed from the shelves here in the UK and prosecuted, I'm going to let you know which I think are the first 5 that you should watch. I'll let you know what they are, I'll let you know the reasons why, because a couple of these might raise an eyebrow or two, but we'll get into it and you can let me know what you think. So out of all of these video nasties, which is the first 5 that you should watch? Let's get straight into it. So right off the bat, the first movie I would recommend as being the first video nasty that you watch is Zombie Flesh Eaters from 1979. And indeed the first video nasty that I ever watched without even realising what these things were. But Zombie Flesh Eaters is, for me, it's like the quintessential video nasty. It has everything in it to kind of sum up what we love about video nasties. It's got the excess gore and violence. The gore effects in this are on a different level. When I watched that movie when I was younger, I just had a feeling that I was watching something that was next level up from the things that I'd seen before it. It's got a good degree of scuzziness, which kind of separates it again from the mainstream. In fact, Zombie Flesh Eaters feel very anti-mainstream, which again is kind of the ethos of these video nasties. They weren't kind of playing on the same playing field as regular films. And it's just an excellent film. It is such a well put together horror film. Lucio Fulci was at the top of his game and made an excellent zombie horror film. In fact, the only downside to starting out with Zombie Flesh Eaters is it may give you some false hope that every one of these video nasties is going to deliver in the same way. And of course, anyone that watches a few of these will know that not all of them were entirely good films. But Zombie Flesh Eaters is just the best example of a video nasty. Everything that I look for in this kind of movie, it has in droves and does it really effectively. The gore, the violence, the craziness, the zombies, it's scary at times, the music's incredible. And like I say, this was the first horror film I ever came across when I was younger where I really felt like I was watching something different, something that was maybe a bit forbidden and next level. So easily the first video nasty you should start with is Zombie Flesh Eaters. The second video nasty that you should check out is Last House on the Left from 1972. If Zombie Flesh Eaters offered this cavalcade of crazy gruesomeness, Last House on the Left takes us on a more of a darker journey onto the other side of the video nasty spectrum, the side that kind of looks at the more darker aspects of human nature and indeed human actions, where we see these bad guys in the woods, they kind of violate and kill these young girls, and then we move into kind of the rape revenge aspect of the film. But nowhere near as gory as what Zombie Flesh Eaters was. It does have a few moments of kind of visceral gore here and there, but it's certainly not the gore fest that I would consider Zombie Flesh Eaters to be. Last House on the Left is much more of a blunt and downbeat look at the awful things that these guys do, shown in a very kind of unflinching, realistic way that makes for a very sort of uncomfortable viewing experience. So I think if you want to sort of quickly see both aspects of the video nasty spectrum, it's a good way to go from, as I say, the craziness of Zombie Flesh Eaters to the downright disturbing content of Last House on the Left. You've sort of travelled down both roads there when it comes to some of the things that video nasties have to offer. And again, it's another pretty well made movie, a good one from Wes Craven, and definitely delivers in the kind of the scare department as well. So the second film you should watch is Last House on the Left. The third video nasty you should watch is Axe from 1974. This one might be a questionable pick, but I'll explain this one to you. And Axe is a very slow burn movie. Not a lot happens in this one, and there's nothing in it that really kind of heavily warrants it being on the Video Nasties list, but therein is the reason why I picked this one to watch early on. And again, anyone that's watched several Video Nasties will come to know that a lot of these movies really weren't the horrifying horror movies that they were presented to be. A lot of them were pretty slow, some of them weren't very good, and some of them didn't have much happening in them at all, and kind of make you question why they were even deemed that they needed taking off the shelves in the first place. And Axe is one of these movies. Axe is a slow burn film, but one of the better made ones of this ilk. I guess other ones could be The Slayer, which again was pretty slow but a good film. And even The Driller Killer, one of the most notorious movies on this list, which was really more of a sombre character study rather than the horrifying horror film that it portrayed itself to be. But Axe tells the story of these three bad guys. I think they robbed a bank or something, and they hide out on this in this barn where this young mute girl lives, and they think they're going to have like an easy time and manipulate her and mess with her, but she turns the tables on them, and it all gets a bit dark and sinister in this sort of farmland area. Think kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre meets Paris, Texas, if you pardon the non-horror reference. But Axe is a really well put together film. It has a lot of regional charm, and I think it's important to set your expectations when it comes to Video Nasties. Like I say, not every single one of them is going to blow you away with its violence and its gruesome content. A lot of these movies were pretty slow and didn't have a lot happening in them. But like I say, Axe is one of those, but a better example of these kind of movies. And is a pretty interesting film to watch as well. So third movie on the list is Axe. Fourth movie on the list is Evil Dead from 1981. Not a whole lot to say about this one. You'll all know about Evil Dead. It's probably the most well-known movie on the list. Probably the most mainstream film on the list. And again, kind of like Zombie Flesh Eaters, just has everything that you would expect from a Video Nasty. Just over-the-top gore and craziness, great-looking demons, fantastic gore effects, and this feeling that you never really know where this film's going to go next. You never know where this one's going to take you. Just feels like they threw everything into this film to make it as crazy as they could. And also, Evil Dead was one of the more prolific Video Nasties in terms of its legal standings. When these movies were going through court and being prosecuted, Evil Dead was one of the few movies that got a little bit of distributors backing and actually won its court case and got itself back on the shelves. So fair play to Evil Dead for that. And yeah, it's just one of those horror films that whenever I watch it, I have such a good time. So again, this has got to be an early watch for anyone that's wanting to get into the Video Nasties. So yeah, next movie on the list is Evil Dead. And the fifth Video Nasty that you should watch is Cannibal Ferox from 1981. This one is, first of all, going to introduce you to the crazy guerrilla-like filmmaking of the Italian cannibal genre, which is certainly not for everyone. And it's going to step you up into a bit more of the extreme violence category. So you're going to get more of the intense gore effects. Unfortunately, you're going to get some examples of the animal cruelty in this one. But I do like Cannibal Ferox. I do find this one to be a rather entertaining example of the genre. And despite some of its shocking scenes, it does retain a good degree of fun moments here and there. Having said that, if you don't like or if you are offended by anything that happens in Cannibal Ferox, or indeed any of these movies that are on this list, I would not recommend venturing any further into the Video Nasties canon. But yeah, I think if you can enjoy Cannibal Ferox for what it is, that really kind of gives you a measuring stick of how you're going to get along with these movies and whether you're going to become a fan of these Video Nasties. So yeah, fifth movie on the list is Cannibal Ferox. So there we go, guys. Those are the first 5 Video Nasties that I think you should start with. Let me know what you think about that list, and let me know what the first 5 movies you would recommend would be. I'd be really interested to know. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.